Here's a Naruto book. They're not buying this. What are they buying? They're buying home-brewed amateur manga. They're buying not manga from the big publishers. They're buying manga made by you and me, manga fans. How cool is that? You have all these manga fans buying by some other manga fans. Now, so I go around this giant comic market, and to say that it's giant underscores it. Think about Madison Square Garden. Think about it, if Madison Square Garden was filled with tables, little card tables, of people with their homebrewed manga standing beside, and then people flooding in to buy the homebrewed manga, their own self-created amateur manga. Think about all of Madison Square Garden filled with that. Now multiply it by 8 or 9. That's what we're talking about. We're talking just a sea of humanity. So I thought, this is really cool. Then I start looking around at some of the manga there. And this is where, a long time ago, in a moment of youthful indiscretion, I went to law school. I didn't do very well in law school. I actually graduated in the part of my law school class that made the top 90% possible. But I did retain I did take intellectual property, and I do know something about, as a writer, about copyright, about trademark. And I start walking around, and I see these tables full of homebrewed manga, and the lawyer in me, which is, not that big, the lawyer in me is shocked. Because what do you have? Here's what you have. You have, let's see, what's a good series? Bleach. Bleach. Any of you read Bleach? Okay, Bleach. Bleach is a story of a guy named Ichigo, and he has a sort of a female sidekick, Rukia, right? And those two have a very chaste relationship in the story. Some of you are laughing because you know where this is going. They have a very chaste relationship in the pages of the official manga. But there are plenty of fans out there, and Bleach is a monumentally popular title in Japan and now even here. A lot of the fans say, there is just no way that this is a chaste relationship. There is no way that these two people aren't truly in love. We only see, as readers, a portion of their life in the way that I only see the portion of your life here for an hour. I don't know what's happening the other 23 hours. I can imagine. But I only know. And so they say, we're only seeing Rukia and Ichigo on the pages of this manga. Off the pages, something else is happening. Off the pages, they're in love. Off the pages, they're hooking up. And so what you have is you have a table, imagine a table, of someone who has produced homebrewed manga of Ichigo and Rukia falling in love, often very sexually explicit, and they're selling it, okay? Now, for Bleach, a title like Bleach, there are literally maybe 500-600 tables selling this kind of stuff. It looks like Ichigo and Rukia. It is Ichigo and Rukia. And yet they're basically ripping off these characters, putting them in some indelicate situations, and selling it. So think about this. So here's the American in me, the American person with a modicum of legal training, saying, wait a second, what would happen if we had, let's go back to Madison Square Garden. If at Madison Square Garden, we had some amateur illustrators, some amateur creators, and what they decided to do is that Mickey Mouse is actually, if you see sort of the way that Mickey Mouse and Goofy look at each other, there's just an enormous amount of homoerotic tension there. It is obviously they're in love. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a story where someone who's obviously Mickey Mouse and obviously Goofy fall in love and maybe get married in Massachusetts. Okay? And then they sell it in Madison Square Garden in full public view. How quickly would the cease and desist letter come? There would be barricades around Madison Square Garden at even sort of the thought of that. And yet, here it is, not just a one-off, but hundreds and hundreds of tables